Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Check it out. I was participating in a live stream just recently from Black Diamond Guns and Gear. Hopefully I got the channel right. And some people were talking about the Glock 43X and some of the things like, should I get the Glock 43 or should I get the Glock 43X? So before I get into some of the thoughts about this, definitely check out those guys down in the description below. Subscribe to them. They're a great channel and they make great content and they're pretty funny too, and they actually do videos outside in the range and all that, so you can enjoy some of that footage, people shooting guns and stuff like that. And check it out, a lot of gun channels are stopping making content, so when you see new channels coming into the picture, it's fantastic and we should support it, because a lot of guys are literally stopping, like barely anything to watch nowadays. So I want to talk about this, and I'm sure I'm gonna upset some people, because people get so fanboys about things, well, stop talking, Glocks are the best pistols out there. Well, whatever, man, it is what it is. I'm just sharing some opinions about these two new pistols. I don't have them, so really my opinions are just based on what I'm reading and what I'm seeing in some of the videos here and some of my content behind my security plan, right? So here's the thing, I got a 43 for years, and this thing has been proven to be a workforce. I mean, this thing works. Every single time I pull the trigger, fire. I think no one can argue how reliable and dependable and the reputation of Glock. They're just fantastic, right? So I think they're great. This one is so beat up. You guys have seen videos of this pistol. Somebody that I love very much messed up my pistol. I'm looking at you. But it is what it is. I mean, great, works great. One of the biggest issues that this pistol had for some people was the fact that it came with 6 rounds. Now, in the past, I think that I said 6 rounds was not enough. I would have liked to see 7 rounds, kind of match the shield, which, by the way, guys, the shield is the best gun, in my opinion, in the market. I mean, PSA had them for $250. What a great gun for $250. And just said the example, like when you see a price like that on an MMP shield, it's really hard to recommend nothing else, because that gun is fantastic. I have mine for years and I have carried it for a long time. But again, going back to a Glock, right? In this live stream, they were talking about, should I get the Glock 43X or should I get the Glock 43? Now, the Glock 43X is going to have 10 rounds. And again, Glock 43X, Glock 48 is going to have 10 rounds. But the biggest issue that you really got to think about this, when people talk about conceal a firearm, is the grip. So even though the Glock 43 has 6 rounds, what we're looking is to conceal. Here's the thing. When you go into a concealed carry environment, you're giving up a lot of things in order to conceal carry your gun, because there's nothing better than a rifle. Really not. A rifle is the best thing that you could have to defend yourself, but you can't carry a rifle places to go, right? You're going to get in trouble. Now, going from a rifle to a pistol, there's nothing better than a full-size pistol. Again, a full-size pistol gives you more rounds. It gives you the ability to have a flashlight. It gives you a lot of ability, the ability to shoot it better. I mean, little guns tend to be snappy, right? So there's nothing better than a full-size pistol. So when you go into the concealed carry pistol, you're giving a lot of capability for one factor only, to be able to conceal that gun, right? You're giving away a lot of stuff to be able to conceal that gun. But again, concealing that gun is going to give you the ability to surprise a bad guy, which again is going to give you an advantage. So again, when you look at little pistols like this, they are intended to be concealed carry. So again, very small, 6 rounds, and boom, able to work, right? So again, a lot of people could conceal carry this thing very much. A lot of guys says, I carry a Glock 19 for years. I have 2, but you can't compare a Glock 19 to a Glock 43. Again, this thing will conceal a lot better. But going back away from that and going to the Glock 43X and Glock 48, when I saw them coming into the market, I said this on the B channel, I was kind of excited about it, because I said, well, I could use the magazines. I could have my regular 6 round flush mag, and then I could have a 10 round magazine, and again, I use that as a reload, right? Because typically what I use is this Terran Tactical. Now, this Terran Tactical is fantastic. I mean, I have this thing for years. I mean, 3-4 years, and it have done great. This gives me 8 rounds right here. So 8 rounds, I mean, just fantastic. like a lot of people say on the Glock 43X, you know, you got a full grip. Well, I got a full grip here with a plus 2. So if I would have a 43, why would I buy a 43X, buy another gun, when a plus 2 gives me a full grip and give me pretty much 8 rounds plus 1, 9 rounds? I mean, to me, again, you know, if I don't have a 43 and I'm going to buy one, maybe I buy the Glock 43X. But if I already have a 43, would I upgrade to a 43X? Probably not. But again, a lot of people are talking about this 43X and saying, you know what, it gives me 10 rounds and this and that. But to me, you know what, the 10 rounds is going to be nice. But remember, the biggest thing about concealed carry is going to be that grip. So if you got a gun that is, you know, bigger on the grip, that gives you 10 rounds, yeah, but how is that gun is going to conceal to me? Because if it's not going to conceal and if it's going to poke out on my shirt, you got to keep that in mind. So when you go and buy a gun, guys, when you go, you know, new guy up here, when you go and buy a gun and you see a 43 and then they say a 43X, well, this one has 10 rounds. Think about this. Think about the grip. That grip is going to be bigger, longer, and that grip is going to stop the ability for you to conceal carry a gun. The grip is the biggest thing. Now, the slide is really not a big deal because the slide is going to be inside your pen. You know, the whip, I mean, again, you know, single stack pistol can conceal a lot more comfortable because you don't have that much inside your pants. But again, you know, that's not going to be a factor that is going to, you know, tell you how you're going to conceal carry your gun. The biggest factor is going to be the grip. And if the grip is bigger, it's going to present some issues because you won't be able to conceal it as much. So I see the whole 10 round, great. But again, you know, just seeing some of the pictures and stuff like that, keep that in mind. Now, I want to make a comment about the Glock 48 because everybody's saying, well, it's a full-size pistol, just like the Glock 19, and, you know, it's 10 rounds. So for some of the states that has a restriction, that will be great, right? So kind of get that. Obviously, 10 rounds, it met that requirement. But the biggest thing that I see here in the Glock 48 is the fact that it doesn't have a light, Picatinny rail for a light. So if this is your first gun, I would really consider that because that kind of takes it away the home defense side of the house. So what I mean as a home defense pistol, having a light is critical. So again, maybe you don't want to have a light on it all the time, but when you get home, you could snap a light on your pistol like this one right here. Just snap it in there, boom, now you have a light. So when you put it in your night table or whatever, you have the ability to have that light. And a lot of people will complain about that. I'll be like, well, you know, you have a handheld. Well, yeah, a handheld is great, but having a light is also great. There's nothing wrong with having multiple things or multiple capabilities on the same platform. So again, you know, I totally get it that, you know what, 10 round magazine, single stock will be easier to carry. So, you know, it's about the size of the Glock 19. That's the typical, the comment that I hear about that. I get that, but it doesn't have a Picatinny rail. So when it comes to home defense, that may present an issue. So overall, guys, 43X, 48 is probably going to sell a lot because Glock fanboys buy anything Glock. That's just how it goes. So whatever comes out there is good. If you're in the market for a Glock 43, I would definitely recommend you to look at them, see how they are. I will wait a little bit to see how they perform. There's nothing as good as watching what time does to a pistol, right? The new platform. But again, you know, if this is your first gun, maybe the Glock 43X may be a good idea. You have 10 rounds. But keep in mind that concealed carry comes from the grip. So make sure that grip is good enough for you to be able to conceal. Glock 43 is still a great choice. It carries 6 rounds. But again, it's meant to conceal carry. There's nothing wrong having a +2 and having more rounds for reloading. Glock 48, I don't know. I mean, you know, the 2 colors and all that kind of remind me a little bit of a car pistol. Is it going to be a good choice? I don't know. Again, let me know what you think. Put comments down below. And as always, God is in control.